Good afternoon, welcome back. Shana Tova, Gamar Chatima Tova. We'll continue with our afternoon, our Mincha, the Yom Kippur service.
We stand as one. At this hour, Israel stands as one in prayer. All Jews on earth unite through memory and hope. A people unafraid, unvanquished, says to God, "This people you have formed still lives to tell your praise. Still lives to share this teaching with our youth. Our ancient journey has not reached its end. The faith implanted at our people's birth is realized from age to age, our sacred covenant. This people, few in number, ventured forth to carve a lonely path through the wilderness with dreams of vines and fig trees, justice in the gates, the land at peace. And still we make our way across the desert. This people you have formed still lives to walk before you. Exiled once to Babylon, we learned the unity of God. A second time, dispersed by Rome, we learned that humankind is one. Hear, O Israel, the call still stands. Eternity is ever present in your midst, a heritage of sacred purpose in your heart. Your past tells a story for all peoples. Your future holds a promise still unfolding. At this hour, Israel stands as one in prayer. All Jews on earth unite through memory and hope. We look at one another and we know who we are. We look to our Creator and we know our strength. In pursuit of truth, this people lives to serve the Most High for the sake of life. Behind us, pain and glory. Before us, holy work. Timeless words command us. Toward eternity we gaze.
As the hour is starting to draw a little later, we'll encourage you throughout the service, whenever you can, to not only follow along with the words on your screen, but to read out loud, to engage in each of the words that we're sharing. Let us bring the Torah into our midst. It shall come to pass in the fullness of time that the mountain of the house of God shall be established as the highest mountain and raised above the hills, and all nations shall flow to it. And then many people shall say, "Come, let us go to the mountain of the eternal, to the house of God of Jacob." And they shall say, "Teach us your ways that we may walk in your paths." We give thanks today for a Torah of life, the way of kindness, mercy, and truth. May compassion be our source of sustenance now as in our people's past. May our souls withstand times of crisis and our hearts the inclination to evil. May the covenant of Abraham and Sarah strengthen our will to do what is right. May the qualities of mercy and goodness, love and forgiveness flow through our lives, and let us be strong in a perilous world. Let us open our hearts to the path of Torah. Please rise. If you are standing, please be seated. Friends, just a few thoughts as we move into our Torah reading for this afternoon. Hopefully you were able or will be able to review the beautiful Haftorah study led by Rabbi Kaufman. I know we're missing the recounting of Jonah, but it is available for you on our website, and you can study along with him. Friends, this Torah portion is called Kiddushim that we read in the afternoon. It's all about holiness. It's found in the center of our Torah. It's about we are created as holy human beings. And so there is a story that is a true story about Cameron Lyle. It's not new, but it was new to me. I learned that when Cameron was a senior at the University of New Hampshire, he had a 1 in a million chance of being a match to an absolute stranger. And it just so happens that he was a match for a man just a few years older than him who was suffering from leukemia. The challenge is that Cameron had 2 meets left in his track career. 2 meets, that is it. He was going to be aging out, he was a senior, that's all. The second of the 2 meets being the championships. But in order to be this match, they were going to be asking him to not put so much strenuous activity on his body, and he couldn't pick up more than 20 pounds. Well, for some track stars, maybe that wouldn't be a problem, but for Cameron, shot put, hammer, and discus required him to be in full health and full well-being, and he would no longer be able to compete. He would not finish his lifetime career as a track star. He would not go to the championships if he gave his bone marrow. He said he never even gave it a second thought. He knew right away it was definitely what he was going to do. He knew right away. The only thing he felt bad about was disappointing his coach, who, by the way, supported him, saying to him, okay, so what's 8 shots in your life? You've spent your life doing this, and now you're doing the right thing. So others were amazed by Cameron's act, like truly amazed, and I would be too. And when asked about it by a reporter, he said, well, I don't think it's that extraordinary, right? He said, I'd love to meet the individual someday. He's not that much older than myself, and I just can't imagine what he's going through. His response was not about how great he was, but simply what that other person was experiencing. He was living the concept of love the stranger like yourself, let alone loving your neighbor like yourself. And In this afternoon's Torah reading, we hear these words, V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, to love your neighbor, and Hagar itchem v'chavta lo, for the stranger who resides with you, you will love him. We are all sacred. God created each of us as holy, and this parasha, Kedoshim, provides us numerous ways in which we can act holy, not just in our relationship with God, but in our relationship to one another. I can't imagine what he was going through. That is what Cameron thought. And because I can't imagine what you're going through, I will be there for you. That is what it means to love another human being like you would want to be loved, like you would want to be cared for. I will treat you the way I want to be treated. All of these commandments are upon me. God has said to me, you have the ability to be holy. How we treat one another matters immensely. How we treat, protect, and care for the other. It is our responsibility to act godly, to act in God-like ways, to be good, one human being to the other. Imagine saying, I can't know what he was feeling, but I will be there for him. That is what Cameron Lyle did, and that is what we must do, one for the other. All right, folks, we are going to bring up to our bima to share with us a few brachot, Torah blessings, and Torah readings. Honoring us with our opening blessing before the Torah is Mike Schenzel, the Beth Hillel Day School Board President, and the concluding blessing will be recited by our Hardy President, Zoe Haransky. I might have a little thing for that one, I'm going to tell you. And reading our Torah today is Mark Singer, Margie Meadow, Brett Madich, and Will Schneider. All of these people are truly extraordinary, and we are delighted that they are going to share Torah with our congregation. Yamdu Mordechai ben Yankel ben Ganya v'Miriam v'Baruch ben Yoni v'Benyamin v'Ze'ev Yosef ben David v'Ashira la'aliyah l'Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'netan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael va'amarta aleihem kedoshim tihiyu ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem ish imo ve'aviv tira'u ve'et shabtotai Tishmoru ani Adonai Elohechem al tifnu el ha'ililim ve'Elohei masecha lo ta'asu lachem ani Adonai Elohechem.
Uvkutzrechem et Kazir artechem lo techale ve'at sadecha liksor ve'leket kazircha lo telaket ve'charmecha lo te'olel uferet karmecha Lo telaket le'ani velager ta'azov otam ani Adonai Elohechem lo tignovu velo techachashu velo techakru ish Ma'amito.
velo tishavu bishmi la shaker vehilalta et shem Elohecha ani Adonai lo ta'ashok et re'acha velo tigzol lo talin pe'ulat sahir atah ad boker lo tachelel heresh velifnei avon lo titain michshol veyareta me Elohecha ani Adonai.
Lo ta'asu avel b'mishpat, lo tisa v'nedal, velo tedar penei gadol, v'tzedek tishpot amitecha. Lo telech rachil be'amecha, lo ta'amod aledam re'echa, ani Adonai. Lo tisna et achicha bilvavecha, chocheach tochiach et amitecha, velo tisa alav chet. Lo tikom velo titor et bnei amecha, ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, ani Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
We take this time while the Torah is in our presence to offer a blessing of thankfulness. If you have come through any difficult season, any hardship, this is the time that you recite this blessing. You say it if you've given birth, if you've survived COVID, if you've survived a car crash. This is for you. So if it applies to you, please, you're going to read with me, and I'll read it very slowly. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hagomel l'chayavim tovot, sheg maleni kol tov. Together we say, Amen.
Amen. Mi shigmalchem kol tov, hu yigmalchem kol tov selah. I'd now like to call up Rabbi Sarah Horonsky for Hagbah. She shows strength to all of us in our community, and she shows strength by sharing Torah with all of us.
Torah
We begin now our Amidah. For this Amidah, we will open together with some words of preparation. Am I awake? Am I prepared? And then we will continue with a silent Amidah. You can read the words in your machzor or pray from your heart.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Ve'amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam Be'ahava Tekabel. Humbled in prayer, we seek to reach you. Hoping to be heard. Hearts open wide, longing to be true. You are near. call, would say Adonai, Eloheinu. Be'amcha Yisrael, would feel a time be'avat kabel. Well, let us know that you are near. Open our hearts that we may hear the still small voice within us all. May we be worthy of our prayer and feel your presence everywhere. May we answer when you call. Oh, let us know that you are near. Open our hearts that we may hear the still small voice within us all. May we be worthy of our prayer and feel your presence everywhere. And may you answer when we call. And may we answer when you call. Would say Adonai, Eloheinu. Would say Adonai, Eloheinu.
Sim shalom, the blessing of peace. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen vechesed v'rachamim. Let there be peace, grant goodness and blessing, grace, constancy, and compassion. Rabbi Joshua ben Levi taught, great is peace. Peace is to the world as leaven is to dough. And thus we learn, peace is not passivity, a state of restful inertia. Peace is the fermenting energy, the source of creative and expansive growth. When there is peace in the world, human talents may blossom and all are enriched. When there is peace in a family, all members may grow to fulfill their potential. When there is peace in our soul, we are free to express all the gifts within us.
Elohei notzur leshoni me'ra. My God, keep my tongue from doing harm and my lips from lies and deceit. Before those who wrong me with words, may silence be my practice. Before all human beings, let humility be my stance. Open my heart to your Torah, that I may follow its sacred paths of duty. Shatter at once the maliciousness plans of those who would do me harm. Act for the sake of your name. Act for the sake of your shielding hand. Act for the sake of your holiness. Act for the sake of your Torah, for the sake of those who love you, their rescue and safety. Let your shielding hand be the answer to my prayer. We continue in our service as we move towards forgiveness and confessions, slichot and vidui.
As parents show tenderness to their children, may you show mercy to those who worship you. Like the heavens that tower above the earth, your love is powerful for those who revere you. Liberation is a gift from God, a blessing upon your people. You are the God of all we can perceive, our haven, the God of Yaakov. And you are the God of all that is beyond our perception. The one who has faith in you is fortunate. Sovereign God, show us the way to freedom. Answer us on this day of our calling out to you. Moses prayed to God, as you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now, in keeping with your boundless love. Vayomer Adonai salachti kidvarecha, and God responded, I forgive as you have asked. Ki anu amecha, our God and God of our ancestors. We are your people, and you are our God. We are your children, and you are our father, our mother. We are the people who serve you, and you call us to serve. We are your community, and you our portion. We are your legacy, and you are our purpose. We are your flock, and you are our shepherd. We are your vineyard, and you watch over us. We are your work, and you are our maker. We are your beloved, and you are our lover. We are your treasure, and you the one we cherish. We are your people, and you reign over us. We offer you our words, and you offer us yours. So forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement.
We continue with the recitation of the Al-Chetz, the long confession. For many, they are happier to be in a standing position. I will leave that to you, but I will ask that you join us in reading along in your homes. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you deliberately and by mistake, and the harm we have caused you in your world through insincere promises. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by judging others unfairly, and the harm we have caused in your world by making light of serious matters. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and the harm we have caused in your world through condensation. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through our innermost thoughts, and the harm we have caused in your world through the words of our mouths. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and the harm we have caused in your world by mistreating a friend or neighbor. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by hating without cause, and the harm we have caused in your world through hypocrisy. V'al kulam elochai slichot salach lanu machal lanu kaper lanu. For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, and lead us to atonement. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you openly and secretly, and the harm we have caused in your world through our thoughtlessness. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by profaning your name in public, and the harm we have caused in your world through offensive speech. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through gossip and rumor, and the harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through narrow-mindedness, and the harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty in business. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you through sexual immorality, and the harm we have caused in your world through consumption of food and drink. Al-Chetz shekatanu lefanecha, the ways we have wronged you by betraying trust, and the harm we have caused in your world through impulsive acts of malice. V'al kulam elochai slichot salach lanu machal lanu kaper lanu. For all of these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, and lead us to atonement.
Lanu,
failures of integrity. We wrong you when we wrong ourselves. For our failures of integrity, Adonai, we seek forgiveness. For passing judgment without knowledge of the facts, and for distorting facts to suit our purposes. For succumbing in silence to social pressure, and for acquiescing in beliefs we find offensive. For using others' bad behaviors to excuse our own, and for blaming others for our mistakes and poor decisions. For pretending to emotions we do not feel, and for appearing to be other than what we are. For condemning in our children the faults we tolerate in ourselves, and for tolerating in ourselves the faults we condemn in our parents.
Failures of justice. We dishonor you when we dishonor our society. For our failures of justice, Adonai, we seek forgiveness. For being indifferent to deprivation and hunger while accepting a culture of self-indulgence and greed. For abuse of power in boardrooms, courtrooms, and classrooms, and for accepting the neglect of children and elders, the ill and the weak. For permitting social inequalities to prevail, and for lacking the vision to transcend our selfishness. For glorifying violence and turning hastily to war, and for allowing history to repeat itself. For behaviors that risk the future of our planet, and for wreaking havoc on our only true inheritance, God's creation.
Failures of love. We sin against you when we hurt one another. For our failures of love, Adonai, we seek forgiveness. For exploiting another for our own pleasure, and for the wounds we cause through betrayal and deception. For withholding affection from those we claim to love, and for using love to control our spouses and partners, our children and parents. For abandoning friends and siblings whose love has sustained us, and for neglecting those who love us when they need us the most. For harboring in our relationships mistrust, boredom, and disloyalty, and for rejecting our partner's efforts at repair and renewal. For possessiveness, jealousy, and avarice, and for lashing out in anger at those who are closest to us.
We hope you are reading with us. Who among us is blameless? Who shall say, I have not erred, I have not wronged or sinned? We abuse, we brutalize, we covet, we deceive, we enslave, we feud, we gossip, we humiliate, we injure, we judge unfairly, we kill, we lie, we manipulate, we neglect, we ostracize, we plagiarize, we quarrel, we rage, we shame, we turn away, we undermine, we vilify, we waste, we exploit the earth, we yearn too much for yesterday, and too easily we forget Zion. Our sins are an alphabet of woe. Help us, Holy One, to follow your ways of integrity, justice, and love. Teach us to seek forgiveness with humility and an open heart.
For acts of healing and repair, we read responsively. God, our creator and guide, let us reflect on the healing acts by which we bring you into our lives, the acts of repair that make you a living presence in our words and deeds.
Acts of healing we have done by judging others with compassion, and acts of repair we have done through rigorous self-judgment.
Acts of healing we have done through kindness to parents and children, and acts of repair we have done through loyalty to spouses, partners, and friends.
Acts of healing we have done through self-discipline and self-restraint, and acts of repair we have done by ridding ourselves of destructive behavior.
Acts of healing we have done by seeking the holy in the ordinary, and acts of repair we have done by taking upon ourselves sacred obligations.
Acts of healing we have done by seeking forgiveness, and acts of repair we have done by forgiving others.
Acts of healing we have done by turning in love toward Zion, and acts of repair we have done by supporting the state of Israel.
Acts of healing we have done by receiving life as a blessing and a gift. And acts of repair we have done by expressing gratitude and appreciation.
Acts of healing we have done by listening with an open mind to those we love. And acts of repair we have done by making our home shelters of safety and peace.
For all of these bring nearer the day when you shall be one, and your name shall be one.
Avinu Malkeinu, we join generations of Jews who have sought your compassion. Shekhinah Imenu, nurturing presence. Mekor Binatenu, source of insight and understanding. Tzur Chayenu, unweathered stone, steadying strength beneath us. Yedid Nafshotenu, intimate soul companion. Chonenu Va'anenu, we open to you in self-examination. Grace us and answer us. Be present with us and inspire us. Accompany us, assure us we are not alone. Ki ein banu ma'asim, we approach you empty-handed. Our accomplishments set aside. Rather than defend ourselves, we confess we are brokenhearted at our failures, and our world remains unrepaired. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, embrace us generously as we expose our errors. Be our example. Hold us with abundant love. Turn us to face the world with justice and compassion. V'hoshienu, save us. We join our strength to yours as we offer ourselves fully to life ahead. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, we have strayed and sinned before you. Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are our sovereign. Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name. Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a year of goodness. Avinu Malkeinu, remember, we are but dust of the earth. Avinu Malkeinu, let this hour in your presence be a time of compassion and acceptance. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families. Avinu Malkeinu, act for the sake of those slain for their devotion to you. Avinu Malkeinu, act for the sake of those killed because they were Jews. Avinu Malkeinu, act for the sake of those who suffered fire and water to sanctify your name. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu V'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu V'aleinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu, tzedakah משפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא
If you are standing, now is that time to be seated. We have a few thank yous to share. If you're still with us and following our thank yous, we go right into our Ne'ilah service. So many thank yous. Please take a time just to be in that place of gratitude with us. Thank you for engaging in prayer and making a sacred community. I know we're not physically in this space, but I want to thank you. It is so important for us to be connecting in this way, and I'm filled with gratitude to have your participation. I know it's different, but we have accomplished, and we cannot wait to see you next year in person, we hope, when we say Shana Tova. I have deep gratitude to Rabbi Kira Stein and Cantor Shira Fox for preparing these high holy days. It has been an endeavor that we have never quite experienced before, and we always think the month of Elul is a little long, but friends, their patience and commitment to TBH has meant so much. It has been a long path to this day. Thank you to our musical director and pianist extraordinaire, Diane Lindsay. And in order to protect her well-being, you haven't seen her. Normally you would see her, and we're so sorry you can't see her on video. But trust me when I say her recordings were phenomenal, and she spent so many hours putting this together and mixing and making the music work. So thank you, Diane. A huge thank you to Helen Altenbach on cello, Janice Markham on violin, our professional singers, Ayana Haviv, soprano and vocal contractor, Elizabeth Anderson, alto, Todd Strange, tenor, James Hayden, bass, and a really big thank you, really big, to Wayne Pete, our audio engineer. Thank you to our fellow congregant, Ari Perlstein of Custom Made Productions, for producing our video content, and of course his big, huge helper, Andrew, along with Matt Beam of Event Tech Systems for running our sound. Folks, we couldn't be here without these folks. We are super grateful. We respect the anonymity of our 12-step service leaders, but since we're on Zoom, you probably know who they are. Big thank you to them for arranging our special service. Thanks to Rabbi Kaufman for his wonderful text studies, to Stuart Finder for his thought-provoking study, to Howard Blumenfeld for his meditation, to Myra Rosette for her restorative yoga. Big thanks to Daniel Strauss for his song leading during our Tat Shabbat. And thanks to Eric Goldman and Michelle Corbin-Friedlander, who led our George Friedman Shofar Corps class and organized all of our shofar sounders for their very special tasks. Thank you to our shofar sounders for showing up and spreading the call across the San Fernando Valley. Thank you, of course, to all of our Torah readers and to Roger Dayan, and Cami McClure for all things media and communication. You wouldn't know where to be or how to be without the two of them, so thank you so much. Thank you to Janessa Brooks of JB Maintenance and her crew, and to Nolan Rifkin and Leslie Anderson and all of the staff at TBH. To our High Holy Day class leaders, from cooking to art to wine tasting, we thank you. And we thank all of our lay leaders who were able to join us throughout this time. We thank you to those who participated in passing out bags and welcoming you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a very special thank you to each and every one of you who participated in our annual appeal, our High Holy Day appeal of 5781. We want to wish you each and all a Shana Tova, And please continue with us as we move into our NEILAH service. The gates are starting to close, but they're still open. B'sharei HaNe'ilah. We enter into NEILAH. The long day is over and the gates are closing. Slowly day fades into dusk. Soon the earth will darken, our bodies weak and weary, our inner strength undiminished. This day has been a gift, uncluttered time, free from hurry and routine, appointments or assignments, a time to face our sins and imperfections, our dreams and yearnings for the life we want to live, a time to leave the clamor of the world and attend to the voice within. Long ago, the temple gates were locked at dusk. So too at this hour, the gates of Yom Kippur begin to close. Have we done all that needed to be done? Said everything that needed to be said? The gates of God's compassion never close, but soon enough our lives close in on us. Now in the silence of the soul, now before the holy day comes to an end, release the unshed tears, the deepest prayers locked in our hearts. It's customary on NEILAH services to open the ark doors and leave them open for the duration of Yom Kippur. Therefore, some of you will choose to be standing, and we encourage you to listen to your bodies, and we will continue by opening the ark doors just as though we are opening the gates.
Open a gate for us when the gates are being closed, for the day is about to fade. The day shall end, the sun shall set. Let us enter your gates. NEILAH. Again, the day rolls into darkness. The sky spills its pinks and purples, draining to blackness. Deep inside, there is a closing, a small gate, swinging shut in the mind. Those last few thoughts rush through, and a life is sealed. Outside the temple, a lone bird sounds its call, waits for response.
In praise of God's hands. When I consider the heavens, the work of your hands, when I gaze at the sea of space and its endless array of stars, when I set out to understand this marvel and its maker, your greatness overwhelms me. Your majesty makes me tremble with awe. What are we that you have given us eyes to glimpse your truth? What am I that you have given me a mind to fathom hints of your purpose? We are witnesses to nature's repeated refrains, forests dancing with life, mountains rising like prayers, oceans bursting forth with hymns. In the midst of this beauty, you have placed within humanity two worlds, mortal flesh and immortal soul, finite matter and infinite spirit. You have taught us to live at peace with the earth and with all living beings, and to care for the works of your hands. But something deep within us darkens the soul. In nature, spring follows winter, but human behavior is far less certain. Called to a life of righteousness, we rebel, possessed by arrogance and unrestrained ambition. Again and again, we speak of the struggle between good and evil, love and hate, forgetting that the power to choose is the greatness and glory of our humanity. In our forgetfulness, life loses its beauty, and we hear a voice of judgment. Where are you? How you have fallen. In this hour of Ne'ilah, as day fades into dusk, we hear another voice, and it says, Ata notein yad lifshoim, ve'yimnecha peshuta lekabel shavim. You hold out your hand to those who do wrong. Your right hand opens wide to receive those who return. The gates of your forgiveness are open wide.
Yitgadal ve'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Be'yama divrach irutei Ve'yamelich malchutei B'chayichon uvyomechon Uvchayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagalo v'zman kariv Ve'yimeru amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam olam Me'amaya Yitbarach Ve'yishtabach Ve'yitpo'ar Ve'yitromam Ve'yitnaseh Ve'yitador Ve'yitale Ve'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Berichu Le'elah Min Kol Birchata Ve'shirata Tushbechata Ve'nechemata Damiran Be'yama Ve'yimaru Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים. למענך, למענך, אלוהים חיים. מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד אתה, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
Hear us this day, forgive us, we pray, for the day begins to fade. Your holiness awakens deepest awe, your praise shall be our song. Our sovereign God of pardon and forgiveness, let these words of sanctity ascend to you. Open the gates of righteousness for us. Open the gates that we may enter and praise the eternal. Open the gates for us, for all Israel, and for people everywhere. The gates of acceptance and atonement, beauty and creativity. The gates of dignity, empathy, and faith. The gates of generosity and hope, insight and joy. The gates of knowledge and love, meaning and nobility. The gates of openness, patience, and the quest for peace. The gates of renewal, song, and tranquility. The gates of understanding and virtue. The gates of wisdom and wonder, exaltation, youth, and old age. The gates of Zion, reborn and rebuilt in our time. Open the gates, open them wide, show us the way to enter.
Holy is your name. Holy is your name. Holy is your work. Holy are the days that return to you. Holy are the years that you uncover. Holy are the hands that raised to you, and the weeping that is wept to you. Holy is the fire between your will and ours, in which we are refined. Holy is that which is unredeemed, covered with your patience. Holy are the souls lost in your unnaming. Holy and shining with a great light is every living thing, established in this world and covered with time, until your name is praised forever.
Seal us for holiness and blessing in the book of life, For you are holy, and your name is holy, and we yearn to enter your gates. For you hold out your hand to those who do wrong. Your right hand opens wide to receive those who return.
Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalalucha selah. You are holy, your name is holy. Seekers of holiness praise you day by day, selah. Baruch ata Adonai hamelech hakadosh. You are the source of blessing, Eternal One, sovereign of the sacred.
Closing words of our Hatzafilah, forgiveness, Zion, covenant, and peace. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of all generations, on this great Sabbath of forgiveness, forgive our moral failings. On this great Sabbath of goodness, teach us to be satisfied with your goodness. On this great Sabbath of atonement, purify our hearts to serve you in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Year after year, you set us on the path from guilt to holiness. Our God and God of all generations, let us feel your nearness and let us know your love. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shechinato l'Tzion. Let our eyes and hearts experience your presence in Zion. Please read with me. God of goodness, mercy, and hope, we are grateful for your gifts of love and compassion. Seal us today for a life of integrity, lived in covenant with you. God of peace, grant us peace, your most precious gift. You have given us freedom to choose between good and evil, life and death. May we choose life and good, that our children may inherit from us the blessing of peace. May we and the whole family of Israel be remembered and sealed in the book of life. Blessed is forgiveness, and blessed are goodness, mercy, and love. Blessed is the nearness of the divine presence, and blessed is the hope for peace. Baruch atah Adonai, oseh hashalom. You are the blessed one, the eternal one, source of peace.
Open for us a gate. One after another things are happening to me, which at another time would light up in me all the lamplights of joy. And I would walk then lovely, careful, lest they be extinguished, carrying back and forth humble thanksgiving. But in this setting, they are summer's flashes, sparks, and when they vanish, the clouds are even darker, and the stifling air, there is no expectation of rain. Heaven stands sealed, open for us a gate.
Salach lanu, please forgive us. Vayomer Adonai, salachti, I forgive you.
Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha. Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha. Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha.
For those who struggle with prayer, you are, as always, welcome to read with me. May the prayers of those who struggle with prayer reach your presence. May the people who say, "Hear, O Israel," come to know you as the one who hears. Great giver, Israel's eternal hope, you are rich in forgiveness. Though you dwell on high, your compassion is present here and now. Shelter us in the shade of your presence. When you look into our hearts, be kind and set us on the right path. Come to us, our God. Please be my strength. Hear the ache in our voice, the pains of our plea. Most high and hidden, we yearn to hear, I have forgiven. A broken people hungers for your care and protection. Answer us with righteousness. Inspire us with awe. Adonai, be our help. Give us strength.
these wrongs we are guilty. We betray, we steal, we scorn, we act perversely, we are cruel, we scheme, we are violent, we slander, we devise evil, we lie, we ridicule, we disobey, we abuse, we defy, we corrupt, we commit crimes, we are hostile, we are stubborn, we are immoral, we kill, we spoil, we go astray, we lead others astray.
We have not only erred and gone astray, but we have also done so many acts of goodness. So join me as we recite these together. We loved and we wept. We were kind and spoke thoughtfully. We were faithful and trusting. We put forth effort. We were mindful, we embraced, we took delight in the holy books. We were creative and we yearned. We fought for justice and searched out the good. We tried our best and we were attentive. We did what you commanded us to do. We found meaning in Torah, and most of the time we did what is right. We proclaimed your name and we were accepting. We were joyful and we cared. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it. Avinu Malkeinu, act for the sake of your boundless compassion. Avinu Malkeinu, act towards us as befits your name. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of sustenance and livelihood. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of worthiness and merit. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of forgiveness and pardon. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of redemption and renewal. Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings. Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayer. Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a year of goodness. Avinu Malkeinu, we have no sovereign but you. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace when our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim. Asay imanu, tzidaka
As the day ends, we stand as one before the gates of a new year, renewed by this day of atonement, made stronger by all who are with us and by those whose presence we feel within. As the long day fades into dusk, we join our voices in words of hope and dedication. Pitchu lanu sharei tzedek navovam nodeya. Open for us the gate of righteousness, that we may enter and praise the eternal source of life.
Open for us the gates of sacred community, that we may enter and feel its healing power. Open for us the gates of truth and integrity, that we may enter and grow in faithfulness. Open for us the gates of devotion and principle, that we may enter and find enduring values and meaning. Open for us the gates of repentance and return, that we may enter and offer our best. Open for us the gates of forgiveness, that we may enter and offer our humanity. Open for us the gates of kindness and compassion, that we may enter and offer our love.
For the sounding of the shofar, as the Sabbath of Sabbath ends, we say from the heart, Living source, you are ours, we are yours. From beyond time and space, you hold out your hand to receive us. Living source, you are ours, and we are yours. You are sovereign of remembrance, the voice of holiness. Your presence lights the way. Living source, you are ours, we are yours. Shema Yisrael, hear the shofar, witness to history, thunder to our souls. Living source, you are ours, we are yours. Happy are those who love the sound of the shofar, its mystic chords of memory. Living source, you are ours, we are yours. Hear the shofar, hear its cry of freedom, its call of courage. Cherish its promise of hope. Tekiah. Shevarim. Teruah. Tekiah Gedolah.
Soon the day will arrive when we will be together, and no longer will we live in fear. And the children will smile without their wondering whether on that day dark blue clouds will appear. Kalatov ye, Bashana, Bashana, Abba. Wait and see how much good there will be. Bashana, Bashana, Abba. And the vines they will grow, the tender leaves will blossom, and the fruit of our hands will be sweet. And the winds that bring change will clear away the ashes, and together we'll go for to meet. Otira, Kalatov ye, Bashana, Bashana, Abba. Wait and see how much good there will be. Bashana, Bashana, Abba.
Friends, join us for Havdalah and a little shofar sounding outside at 7 o'clock. We'll see you on Facebook. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova. Thank you so much, Shana Tova.